Welcome back to Fujitsu Forum TV for the final time today. We'll of course be live again tomorrow morning. I think we're on air from 8 AM Central European time tomorrow. We have another packed day of insight coming your way, so join us for that. If you can spare me 6 or 7 minutes now, I am going to rapidly fire through all 16 interviews we brought you today and point you in the right direction of some insight that's going to help your business or your government entity. 9 o'clock seems a very, very long time ago. But first up, we were talking transport. If you are in the transport industry right now, ecosystems are a big headache for you. They're very complex. Some of that's down to the technology being behind the curve. Some of that's down to the digital explosion that you're seeing from new entrants. Go and check out the segment with Rabi Arzuni. He's the CTO for transport here at Fujitsu. Well worth paying attention. Next, we jumped over to edge computing. This has been a theme today, hasn't it? We've got new distributed architecture stretching from the edge to the cloud to the core. The first of 2 or 3 interviews we brought you was with Salil Lawandi. He's the global product marketing manager here at Fujitsu. He makes a lot of sense about what's happening with the data centers right now and what you should be aware of. Sticking with an edge, we had Frank Reichard, Senior Director for Product Marketing at Fujitsu. Like I was saying around the data centers, are they dead? He's got some answers for you. Go and check that one out. The opening keynote. It's live up on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Driving a Trusted Future. You saw President Takita joined by Paul Patterson and Rupert Lehner talking about the key facets for driving a trusted future. Everything from vision to ecosystem, agility, the human centricity that you do need to embrace. I say that again, that you do need to embrace, even if you're embedding automation. Please go and cast an eye over that. Well worth seeing. SAP. We've had 2 or 3 segments around SAP today, haven't we? If you're an SAP environment, you're fully aware of the 2025 deadlines you're all facing. But how do you drive excellence from those environments and what technology should you be bringing into play? Go and see what Jaron Main, who's the SAP director here at Fujitsu, had to say about that. The cloud team, Mark Phillips, a familiar face on Fujitsu Forum TV. He brought with him Thomas Hagstrom, and we also had Ziva Kayat from Microsoft came and talked to us about the challenges around cloud at the moment. There's many of you that have got 20, 30, 40, even 50 cloud properties. What does that mean from security? What does that mean to the volume of data you're having to process in those locations? Is it right, or do you need to wind the clock back a bit if you're truly to save time and money? Everything that cloud was supposed to bring you. So go and cast an eye on that. Workforces. We've spoken a lot over the years, haven't we, about how technology needs to evolve. Digital transformation can push your businesses forward, but it also is impacting workforces. If you're truly to enable them to unlock their true potential and yield the great value collective that your business can attain, you need to consider how the technology is going to impact and enhance your workforce. We've got 2 or 3 segments today, the first of which was with Andrew Davis, Head of Future Workplace Strategy here, and Ellie Thieker, who's the sales specialist for Future Workplace. And of course, Steve Wilson spoke to us a few times. He's a VP of Product for one of our show sponsors, of course, Citrix. Sticking with workplace transformation, we started to look at how that impacts the strategy and whether you can actually get value out of it. Helen Lamb, VP of Head of Service Lines and Portfolio, with Steve Wilson. We also were joined by VMware and Microsoft for this one. Charles Barrett and Anna Kopp swung by. You would have heard a lot today about best-in-class service providers coming together to deliver impactful ecosystems. That's a segment you probably want to go and look at. And sticking with best-in-class partners coming together, Fleur Copping's second keynote, which we brought you this afternoon, she was joined by executives from Intel, Microsoft, NetApp, and Nutanix. NetApp, of course, another one of our show sponsors. They were looking at the ecosystem challenge and how service providers, best-in-class service providers, together with Fujitsu, can drive real excellence. Please go and check that out. Of course, digital government, you can't forget that amazing interview we brought you. Last year it was Estonia, this year Finland, ranked #1 in a recent digital survey. Can their excellence be replicated across Europe? Well, they believe so. We had the brilliant Maria Nikila, who's the head of digitization unit at the Ministry of Finance Finland. She sees no reason why British, German, French, Spanish governments cannot replicate everything Finland are doing. Don't believe her? Go and look at the video. You will be surprised with what she has to say. You'll find all of these live right now, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. How to build a better future based on trust thanks to blockchain. Do you know what? I really enjoyed this segment. This is probably my favorite interview today. Last year, we had the brilliant Frederick de Broek, who leads the Center of Excellence on Blockchain, together with Dr. Joseph Rieger, telling us how blockchain was going to impact far more than financial services. It wasn't just about crypto. The best solutions were going to come outside of financial services. They came back today. The Rice Exchange is a fine example of how blockchain can deliver transformational excellence within industry. If you want to understand how blockchain works, how it's impacting society, and how it's going to transform an organization or an entity that employs 1 billion people within an industry worth $450 billion, I'm not lying with those numbers, go and check out those interviews. Joe Box, co-creation team, we've spoken to him a few times over the last couple of days, haven't we? He swung by with Beth Rowlands, who's the head of talent and skills at Fujitsu, Filippo Veglio, who's the managing director for the World Business Council for Sustainable Development, and Sogo Fujisaka, the VP CSR and Sustainable Development Division at Fujitsu. They came by to talk to us about the Sustainable Development Goals that the UN are driving, specifically Goal 11. There was a Distinguished Engineers event that happened in Berlin a few weeks ago where 270 engineers came together in a co-creation program, and they were looking at ways in which they can solve the challenges brought about by Goal 11, sustainable cities. It is just one of probably 5 or 6 goals Fujitsu are committed to helping solve right now. Help is needed on the UN Sustainable Development Goals. There is great good that can be affected if technology companies like Fujitsu come together and put the smart minds on the challenge of fixing all of these problems. Please go and take a look at that segment. Financial services automation, been a bit of a theme today, hasn't it? Business process and optimization is something that's really transforming financial services right now. We had the brilliant Willem Petersman give us a whole host of examples about how it's impacting financial services. Then an hour ago, gosh, it doesn't seem like an hour ago, does it? Helen Lamb, Tim White from the Global Delivery Group at Fujitsu, they gave us an update for the last 12 months. Wow, what a 12 months they've had. An organization the size of Fujitsu with its global reach and all the employees that it has dotted around the world, well over 100,000 employees. If you're a customer, sometimes you're forgiven for thinking, I don't see all of that capability. Well, there's been some change within Fujitsu to actually make people more accessible, so you're getting the right minds working on the right problems to deliver the right solutions for your organization. Go and check out everything Tim and Helen had to say. And then lastly, we were talking delivering digital transformation through SAP and enterprise applications. David Cameron, no, not that one. David Cameron, who is the head honcho here at Fujitsu Europe, he was talking to us about how we can drive enterprise excellence within SAP environments. 16 segments live today. You know what? We're back again tomorrow at 0800 Central European time to do it all again. Stay with us.